It's morphin' time. Pterodactyl. Hi there, this is Datila with Rangers of Wrestling, bringing you the It's Wrestling Time post show, and tonight I'll be reviewing Impact Wrestling. Wow, okay, so much happened tonight on Impact Wrestling. Where do we even start? You know what? I know, let's start from the beginning. Okay, so at the beginning, we had Chris Bay versus Jake something. This was a good match. I like this, but I am a fan of Chris Bay and a fan of Jake something. So there was a lot that went in on this match. First of all, Chris Bay had a super kick to Jake Something's jaw. Chris Bay went face first into the ring apron after Jake Something caught him. Jake Something ended up grabbing Chris Bay by the neck and tossed him into the turnbuckle. That actually opened the match, by the way. Jake Something caught Chris Bay in a powerbomb. Jake Something speared Chris Bay into the turnbuckle, and Jake Something ended up victorious. But guess who comes out at the end? GoD, the Guerrillas of Destiny, came out and beat the tar out of Jake Something. Poor Jake Something. He came out. Speedball Mike Bailey came out to try to help him. And then who ends up coming out? Jay White ends up coming out to assist the Bullet Club. Give me 1 second. Forgive me for that. All right, and then the Guerrillas of Destiny basically call out the Good Brothers. Wow, that's something that we've all been waiting for since New Japan Resurgence of August of last year. The Guerrillas of Destiny are finally here, and they're gonna call out the Good Brothers. About time, if you ask me. All right, so then we get a segment with Eddie Edwards, Rhino, Chris Sabin, and Josh Alexander. Oh, and Rich Swann, who are all in the ring, and then Honor No More are in the crowd. I forgot to mention Matthew Raywall is on commentary, that's for sure. And Rhino calls for security to let the Honor No More guys through, and then Scott D'Amore comes out and says that Honor No More doesn't represent Ring of Honor because they don't work there anymore. He calls them pieces of you know what. And Maria questions why she should play by Scott D'Amore's rules. She said that all they want is an opportunity. So Scott D'Amore says that at No Surrender, it's going to be the best of Impact versus Honor No More. If Honor No More wins, they will stay. And if they don't, then they're out of there. And so after that, it goes to the back. And we had Carrie Silken show up and says that Vincent asked him if he bought his last paycheck. And then Maria says that if Ring of Honor is supposed to be about family, what is she supposed to tell her family? Matt Taven says that he was there for 10 years and lived by the code of honor for a decade, and now he's found himself in the unemployment line. And then Matt Tavern says that if Honor is dead, he's glad he's killed it. But Carrie Silken says that Matt Tavern didn't kill Honor, that he never had it. So then after this, we get the Influence versus the Inspiration. This was originally supposed to be the Influence versus the Inspiration in the form of Madison Rayne and Tenille Dashwood. But Tenille Dashwood is not give me But Tenille Dashwood was unable to compete, so Caleb with the K took her place. So this ended up becoming an intergender match, and I have to say the Inspiration really held their own against Caleb with the K. They really took it to him. Of course, there were instances where Caleb took over. Jesse McKay slapped Caleb with the K. So I thought that was pretty funny. There was one instance where he took the phone, he was going to take a selfie, but then Jesse double kicked him. And then Cassie with the sunset flip to Caleb, which I thought was pretty impressive. And then the Inspiration ended up victorious. How great is that? That was a good match. I liked it. I thought it was a fun little match. Then after that, we had an Ace Austin, Mad Fulton Mike Bailey, Jake Something segment. So basically, Jake Something came up to Mike Bailey and thanked him for having his back. And then Ace Austin and Mad Fulton come out, and they said that it looked rough out there and that they were this close to coming out, and that maybe he should have helped. But he said that there was something that stuck with him, something that Jake Something had said earlier, and said that Speedball could not trust him. And then Jake Something says he accused Ace Austin of trying to sleep with Eddie Edwards' wife. And Speedball told Ace Austin and Mad Fulton that if they really wanted to help, they could help with the Bullet Club. But of course, Ace Austin and Mad Fulton try to make excuses, saying, oh no, that, and then Gail Kim makes it official. So next week, we're going to have the Bullet Club versus Jake Something, Speedball, Mike Bailey, Matt, and Mad Fulton, which I'm pretty sure is going to be a great match. I cannot wait for that. Then we got a vignette of the Quintessential Diva. So then we get a backstage segment with the Good Brothers, who went to Violent by Design, seeking their assistance with the Guerrillas of Destiny. Violent by Design says that that's their problem, but the Good Brothers are quick to remind them that they assisted them with their problems with Heath and Rhino. So they said that the Good Brothers said that they created the Bullet Club and now they intend to kill it. And then Violent by Design says that the business will continue. So now they're trying to factor in Violent by Design. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. So I'm pretty sure now, I have a strong feeling that maybe the Good Brothers are going to get involved in that Bullet Club match next week. Very strong feeling, but we got to wait and see. Then we get a state of the knockout address, and this was Mickie James in the ring. She basically had all the knockouts surrounding the ring. And she says that it's the strongest division. And it is the strongest division. The Impact has the strongest women's division. They really do. And she says that they make history every single night. And that Jordynne Grace, she's one of the strongest females in the roster. She mentions the IInspiration as well. She mentions Deonna. She says Deonna's the greatest woman that she's ever stepped in the ring with. And Deonna interrupts Mickie and says that she's the greatest knockout in history and leaves. Mickie goes on to say that she's going to represent Impact at the Royal Rumble. She says that she wants to win and have a champion for title match at WrestleMania. Now, I like the sound of that. The chances of that happening are pretty slim. That I don't see that happening at all. If a title match does happen, it's not going to involve Mickie James. I can tell you that much right now. Although I think Twitter will break if that something like that actually does happen. Chelsea Green interrupts her too and says that she wants the first opportunity after Mickie wins the Royal Rumble. But then Tasha Steelz interrupts and is quick to remind them that she has a title opportunity at No Surrender, and she is going to take the title off of Mickie James. Of course, a brawl breaks out between all four ladies, and then Tasha Steelz and Rachel and Savannah Evans, end up leaving. So I'm curious. I'm excited for Mickie James versus Tasha Steelz. I'm excited to see what happens to Mickie James in the Royal Rumble on Saturday. I don't think she's going to win, but hopefully she makes an impact, pun intended. All right, then after that, we had Steve Maclin, who was angry and upset. And he tries to say that his loss last week does not count because it was under pure honor rules. He doesn't care about the record books. And so Jonathan Gresham confronts him and says that he wants it. Basically tells him he will give him another opportunity, but it's not for the Ring of Honor title, and it's not under pure honor rules. Steve Maclin tells him that he knows what his answer is. So I'm so excited. That's going to be a banger of a match. The first one was amazing. I can only imagine how great part 2 is going to be. So then we had the Learning Tree versus Morrissey. And I have to say, I don't know where Brian Myers found all those guys in the Learning Tree, but that's essentially a squash match. This was a quick match. What matters is what happened after. Brian Myers went after W. Morrissey. Moose attacked W. Morrissey. Then as Moose was continuing the attack, the Learning Tree attacked W. Morrissey. Morrissey broke free, dropped all of them, and Moose speared W. Morrissey and ended up leaving. So I'm really liking the rivalry between Moose and W. Morrissey. Very intense. Then we got another squash match in the form of a Johnny Swinger versus Jonah. Yeah, like I said, this was a squash match. No surprise there. But what was surprising What was surprising, I have to say, was the fact that Dan Lambert, yes, you heard that correctly, Dan Lambert. Oh, and I didn't see that, but I'm actually joined by somebody. Hi, I'm being joined by Max.
Oh man, I was drinking here some beers and I was coming across and I saw that you're doing Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, I am. Sorry, I don't know how long you were waiting back there. I just saw you.
15 minutes, it's all good.
Oh, are you serious? Oh my
Nah, just
god.
1 minute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was just watching your Twitter account, man, and it seems like Impact was pretty crazy. Probably one of the best Impact wrestling shows there's been for almost a year.
Yeah, a lot happened tonight. Like I said, Bullet Club, the Guerrillas of Destiny finally showed up.
Mm-hmm.
They called out the Good Brothers finally.
Yeah, no kidding, man. I'm feeling like a lot of wrestlers are disgruntled the way that excuse me, the Young Bucks treated ROH and how they went to every federation and they stole people. So you
Mhm.
have people like Jay White, the Guerrillas of Destiny that you said showed up ROH rather doing stuff with them instead of AEW because they feel, sort of slighted. You think that's a possibility or what are your thoughts on that?
Actually, that actually sounds pretty realistic because they did recruit a lot of people, when they were trying to build AEW.
Yeah, I'm thinking that. I think the Good Brothers would probably rather be on AEW for more TV exposure, but then everybody else is more like F you. And at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Dumb Boys, the Briscoe brothers, show up on Impact before AEW.
Definitely.
When did I just caught up? You said Dan Lambert showed up on AEW. I mean Impact.
Yeah, Dan Lambert was in Impact. He was watching the Jonah versus Johnny Swinger match, which was essentially a squash match. Jonah squashed Johnny Swinger, but he was watching.
That's wild. That
Hmm.
is wild.
So I don't know what that's going to lead to. Is he going to manage Jonah? Because I don't think Jonah is signed with Impact. I think he's signed with New Japan, and he's just appearing in Impact on a per date basis. So
Yeah.
it's interesting to see what they're going to do with this. Are they going to bring Jonah over to AEW?
Yeah.
Is Dan Lambert going to bring back Ethan Page in the rest of the Men of the Year?
Was Ethan Page ever a TNT champion?
No, not yet.
Because I thought there was a scenario where it was sort of like, oh man, that would give the opportunity to Josh Lambert to come in. I think um, he had a title match with Sammy Guevara, somebody where Ethan Page would have been champion and he would have had the open challenge, and then Josh Alexander tweeted something like, "I'm willing to go to any champ," just teasing it.
Hmm.
But
Definitely. So then after that, we had the main event. It was Chris Sabin versus PCO. And this was a pretty good match. But here's something sneaky. Eddie Edwards. Okay, so Matt Tavern, he tripped Chris Sabin while the ref wasn't looking. But Eddie Edwards tripped PCO in front of the ref and they got ejected, leaving poor Chris Sabin alone against PCO and the rest of Honor No More. And as essentially Maria distracts the referee, Mike Bennett pushes Chris Sabin off the rope, allowing PCO to win. And then at the end, the backup, which was Josh Alexander, Eddie Edwards, Rich Swan, Rhino, they all come out to help. And Eddie Edwards has his kendo stick and he stops himself from hitting Vincent. And instead, Josh Alexander puts Vincent in the ankle lock. And the Ring of an Honor No More saves him. So it kind of leads to question: is Eddie Edwards with Impact or is he with Honor No More?
ooh, was Eddie Edwards ever with ROH? I think he might have been with that tag team
Yeah.
guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I could see somebody jumping ship. And if anybody that needs a reboost in character, it definitely has to be Eddie Edwards.
Definitely. So I'm interested to see. You think he'll pop a big show and turn on Impact?
He needs to do something because, at least my personal opinion, he is lame.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, I think he's Tommy Dreamer 2.0. Ever since that last feud he had, that was interesting, was against Bobby Lashley in that Matt Hardy environment, and before that when he was a tag team partner. But the only thing special about him is that Sammy Callahan broke his eye socket by accident with a baseball bat.
Ooh.
At least to me. That was the main event. I didn't really see it. I skimmed through it. I was watching your Twitter accounts to see what was happening, but I'm just gonna probably go over you could go over what you want to close up with. I'm just gonna go over the results to see if anything catches my eye.
Rally Sports says, "Hi Swerve, hi Datila. Wonder if any Impact stars show up in Rumble. Moose, Mac, Cardona, Rhino, Big Cass. What you think? Lots of surprises. I think I love stream. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the love, Rally Sports.
Hey, Will. Wow, that's you answer that. This is your show.
Well, Moose did say he wanted a match against Reigns. I think that if any Impact stars do show up, it'll probably be the ones that have connections to WWE. So I do see Rhino, Matt Cardona, maybe Big Cass appearing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know about Moose. It'd be really interesting, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what I think.
Out of the list you gave us, Will Rally Sport, I would say, Rhino, not Big Cass, maybe Rhino and maybe Matt Cardona. But does Matt Cardona want to tarnish his character right now? Because if you follow him on the indie scene, he is killing it. So if he goes back as Zack Ryder, does he like sort of tarnish his, run right now? And the Moose, because of his domestic abuse charges a while back, I don't see that happening because all the nerds online will call him out for that. But 21 people so far, right? So there's 8 spots left, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shane McMahon's gonna be one of them. You have breaking news, but I think a few people already broke that here and there. So that's 20.
You know what's crazy though is like you've been bringing a lot of news and you don't get credit for it.
Thank you. That's true. There's that. There's that's 23. Let's try to call them out, guys, in the chat room to make this interesting. We have 21 people. I'm saying Shane McMahon's one. Then what's Tommaso Ciampa's the other one? Ciampa. Who can the other be? 3 be. I mean the other 6 be.
The other 6 people?
Bad Bunny,
yeah.
So that's 25. So 5 more people we need. 5 more. What? Yeah.
5 more? Well, I'm trying. It's kind of hard for me to see. Let me see. Especially if it's someone with ties to WWE. Yeah. Rhino. Did you say Rhino? I said Rhino.
Top Dollar.
Top Dollar? What about Swerve Scott?
Oh, he signed with AEW.
Oh, so he's not appearing anytime soon.
I've heard Top Dollar's name being swung around here and there, but that'd be so weird. So we got 4 more people if we could come up with. That's hard. Yeah,
it is. It really is hard because it's supposed. We could sit here and try to crack this all night, but I don't think we will. It's really hard to say at this point.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Oh well.
Extreme D says Isaiah signed with AEW.
Yeah. It's just a matter of time.
Yep, and if he did, you heard it here first.
What? Yeah, definitely. And then we broke it earlier. Danhausen signed with AEW. Give me a follow on Twitter. And it was also coinciding at the same time with Isaiah Scott. He's just doing a few indie promotions. He's doing something with Terminus, which is Terminus pay-per-view. And he signed with them. Just a matter of time before he shows up.
Okay. Rally Sports says, okay, thanks for answering my question. Bad Bunny, Braun Breaker, Walter Sari, Gunter G, Stupid Name, and LA Knight, maybe. Oh, those are good ones. I didn't even think about that.
Ooh.
Those are good ones. Braun Breaker, I definitely see him entering. Walter, I see him entering too. LA Knight, maybe. Yeah, it's crazy.
I think he just filled it up right there. Will Rally Sport we needed 4 people. Braun Breaker, Gunter, LA Knight. Oh no, we already said I can't say Gunther and Walter as the same person. So one more person.
Oh. Von Wagner, maybe, he said.
Who's Von Wagner? Is that the
Von Wagner? I don't know, some guy. I don't watch NXT.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you caught Mickey James's promo. I talked about it. Extreme D says good this will. Mickey James said that she wants. The chances of this are happening are probably slim to none. But Mickey James talked about how she wants to win the Royal Rumble and then have a title for title champion versus champion at WrestleMania.
That would be so dope.
That would be dope. And honestly, I thought that WWE was gonna go that route, but it wasn't gonna be Mickey James. It was gonna be Charlotte versus Becky, title for title champion versus champion.
Damn, that'd be so dope. Impact Wrestling. If wrestlers were really together and unionized, all the girls would be like, you know what? They treated her badly, and I don't want to be treated that badly. Let's all somehow eliminate ourselves or mess up the scenario where Mickey James does win this Royal Rumble, and they have to do something about it.
Yeah, but like I said, chances of that happening are slim to none.
Yep. Impact Wrestling is almost like a mini.
Extreme B says that would be awesome. Yes, it would be. It would be awesome, but that's not. I don't think that's gonna happen.
A mini NXT development. There's a lot of old school NXT guys WWE guys that are on Impact. The Good Brothers, the Inspiration. You have Brian Myers. You have who else you got? You just got a lot of
Morrissey.
people. Yeah, W. Morrissey. You have the Bronson Reed. You have Heath Slater. You have Rhino. You have a lot of people. Josh Matthews. So they have connections there that, you know.
Tom Phillips,
yeah. Matt Cardona, Matthew Retchwood, the commentator guy that's on there. Mickey James. Ooh, man, oh man. Sammy Callahan, who used to be with them. Who else is it that used to be? I'm looking at there. Tennille Dashwood, but I already brought them up with that Inspiration. So there's a big cast.
So. Even Deonna Purrazzo, she was in the early days of NXT.
Yep. Yeah.
Valley Sports saying on the women's side, Asuka, Lacey Evans, Trish Stratus, Raquel Gonzalez, Paige, Io Shirai, Molly Holly, producer backstage on Raw, just get her in there. Wait and see. Paige would be an amazing return.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, you just sold it up. You definitely did.
That'd be dope if Paige returns.
Yeah, it would be. Honestly, it would be.
Who is Io Shirai? That girl that came out with the umbrella? She was the captain of the ship or something?
No, that's Kairi Sane.
Okay, I heard that she on some podcasts I heard that they're looking for her to get her back, but then with what's going on for her to come to Japan and back would be like, why? But of course, I'm looking forward to the women's battle royal just to see what craziness happens with Mickey James and then the mystery partners with Ronda Rousey supposed to be filling that spot up, and of course you'll have Lita, Trish Stratus.
I don't know if I trust WWE with the women's though. I feel like, yeah, they might let Mickey James come out to hardcore country and with the knockout title, but then she might get eliminated right off the bat. She might not even spend 5 minutes in that Rumble.
You know what I think is gonna happen? I think she's gonna get a nice payday, and she's gonna be the final 4 women in there, and it's gonna get people amped up like, oh my god. And she's gonna.
What if she's final 2?
Oh man, what if she's final 4 and Deonna Purrazzo is the one that comes out of nowhere and eliminates her, and they continue the feud on Impact, and WWE just forgets about them.
Oh wow! But I mean, that would be crazy if it happens. I mean, Deonna Purrazzo did get offended with Mickey James tonight, calling her the 3rd best knockouts champion of all time. But she's moving into a feud with Tasha Steelz. She actually is going to face Tasha Steelz at No Surrender.
Who eliminate? It has to be somebody like from Impact, right? You just can't have a WWE girl eliminator and just be like, I forget about it. Like,
oh my god, I didn't even think about that. You're absolutely right. It would make no sense for someone from WWE to eliminate her. You're absolutely right.
Sasha Banks throws her out the ring, and then you're just like, oh, and then it's just like, it ain't happening.
Wow, I didn't even think about that. I'm really excited. I'm more excited about the Rumbles than the matches themselves. The only match I'm really looking for, actually, no, scratch that. I'm excited about the 2 Rumbles, Lesnar versus Lashley and Rollins versus Reigns.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully it doesn't take long. I mean, 2 Royal Rumbles is a drainer.
Oh, I thank God I'm on the West Coast.
Yo, did you see that? I hope it's not true. Neckbeard said that. Remember when Danhausen broke his leg and he created a GoFundMe page? That it was all fake.
Really?
Yep. And I went to his GoFundMe page and he got $47,000. And I'm not feeling that. If that story is true, wow. Wow. That's grimy because there's people up on there that really need money that are trying to if
Mm-hmm.
oh well. It's cool, it's slick, it's evil, like he says, but it's not Impact Wrestling. But I just wanted to throw that out there because I was like, damn. Oh damn. Mickey Jim's looking banging tonight.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's it for the review. I think we've talked about everything on Impact. I mean, were you surprised Guerrillas of Destiny finally showed up tonight?
Yeah, super duper. Yeah, definitely surprised.
I said since I think I said it in the chat. I was like, oh, Guerrillas of Destiny are showing up next week. Did I not say that in the chat?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, I want to hear their entrance music. They didn't come out to their entrance music.
Yeah, it's almost like the Shield, but better, and it gets you amped up. At least it got my nerdy self amped up 4 or 5 years ago when I heard it.
Well, they have a match next week, but I think they're all gonna come out to the Bullet Club music because it's a tag match.
I hope they don't come out to Bullet Club music. That song is too fire.
Yeah,
ain't nobody realer than Gorilla. It's like they're coming from a helicopter, and then it just goes like it's like a computer, like GOD. These are Guerrillas of Destination, and then it just has like a cool little and you're like, oh, and then there's some guy that raps over it. And he goes, ain't nobody realer than Gorilla. Oh, and it just amps you up. Like you might rob a bank if you hear this music in your headphones.
Oh wow.
I'm like, yo, Datila, rob a bank. You'd be like, no. I'm like, yo, put these headphones in, and then you'd come out with $5,000.
Oh my god, that's so hilarious. Well, it was a great show tonight. Honestly, I give it a 4 out of 5. What about you?
Man, the way you described, yeah, definitely high 4 out of 5 something, man. It was definitely banging. It sounded very, very good.
Yeah, it was definitely a popping show. People got to stop sleeping on Impact Wrestling. I say it every week. They got to stop sleeping on Impact Wrestling.
New Japan Pro came on afterwards, but it was a repeat.
Yeah. Wiley Sports says, you forgot Chelsea Green. Impact was WWE, Brian Myers, Kurt Hawkins, and Tennille Dashwood. Emma, WWE, unless you said them. He said Emma. He said Tennille Dashwood. Chelsea Green, we did forget, though.
Well, I don't know if they would bring in Chelsea Green because she left on bad terms. She was using them. They found out her main goal, she always wanted to be on Playboy, and she started doing her OnlyFans and Instagram and modeling. So they know that she was using them, which is whatever, man. Like good for her, but I think she made it a little bit too obvious. And Matt Cardona, man, Zack Ryder, that's why it's a good show, man. I'm glad we don't know what's gonna happen, man. We're gonna have to watch it.
Definitely. I agree.
Let's do this. Since we who do you think is gonna win the men's battle Royal Rumble? And the chat room too. Who do you guys think for both?
I don't know. Honestly, for me, the men, I don't know.
I'm gonna go with Almost for the men's battle royale, and I'm gonna go with Bianca. I'm not Bianca. I'm gonna go with what's her name, Naomi from SmackDown.
Interesting choices.
I'm saying Almost because a friend, not to whatever, just whatever, he was saying that Bob MVP was supposed to manage Brock Lesnar, but then they switched it up, and then MVP was supposed to manage Almost. It's Almost isn't good on the mic. He was supposed to win the Battle Royal, making it the first ever main event where 2 black wrestlers main evented both nights. And obviously, with Roman Reigns catching that and having to be removed from the pay-per-view, they had to switch up a lot of things. So he's not there, but then he disappeared. Almost hasn't been around anymore. So maybe he's going to be like that. Who's number 30? And then it's just like, oh, like that scenario. And
yeah,
we'll see. And I like Naomi. Naomi has a little good storyline on the low in SmackDown that nobody's talking about. They always say give Naomi a chance, but she has like a Stone Cold storyline going on, beefing with the general manager and trying to get a title shot. And she kept on getting played for how many months? You on Twitter even said, can we end this feud already between Naomi and what's the
Sonya Deville.
Yeah, Sonya Deville. And it's going to keep on going. I think she's going to win, and it's going to continue. But
Yeah, I guess I could see that happening.
Mm-hmm.
Do you got anything else you wanna plug or promote as we get ready to sign off the air?
Nah, but we on pace to break record news more than anybody. President Sean Ross Sapp, Dave Meltzer. It is crazy. So far this week we wrote 8 news articles, and the last one that hasn't broken is Triple H getting a divorce with Stephanie McMahon, and hopefully that doesn't come to fruition. But so far,
Extreme D says I can't think of a man winner, but I agree. I think that Naomi's winning.
Heck yeah, I can't think of a man win. A lot of people on like the popular websites that really don't break news are saying Brock Lesnar or Bobby Lashley are going to win it.
But are they? They're not in the Rumble.
But if they lose, say like if Brock opens up the match first and then he loses, he could qualify. They get in the Royal Rumble.
That would mean Roman Reigns would win his match.
Yep, and then Charlotte's going to be in her Royal Rumble. Remember, because she said after I win, I get to choose my opponent.
Mm-hmm.
And then random stuff. Don't take this with a grain of salt. This is just random. I heard that the WrestleMania card will have Big E versus Seth Rollins. I don't know for the title or they were just going to go at it, but just food for thought.
All right. Well, you heard all that news here first. And thank you guys all so much for watching. And your continued support means a lot to me. And please don't forget to like and subscribe and make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. And I'll see you guys tomorrow after AEW Rampage. Bye, guys.